What's going on, Libra? And welcome to my channel, Alchemist. Justin here, and I hope you're having a fantastic week so far. So, for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just amazing, Libra. And it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We are in for an amazing journey. Because it's a general energy weekly spread. Libra, I've been having a ball just coming up with these different dance moves, the little jigs that I've been doing. This has just been a real treat. But with this weekly spread, whenever you happen to come across this video, there may be some messages in here for you. And just so y'all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one. So take what resonates with you, leave the rest with me, and never force a reading on a situation, okay? So with all that being said, let's jump into it. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Just great energy all around here, Libra. So I'm going to pull a few oracle cards from this deck here, and then we will get some details with the tarot. But before we jump into this thing, these readings that I do, they're not gender-specific readings, so apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations, okay? And in case of y'all were curious, the decks that I'm working with, I've included links for them down in the description box below, so definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below some link for some other readers that are like watching Libra, so definitely check them out. I think you would really enjoy them, but thank you. Let's get into your first card here. All right, Libra, I see you. Maybe we're going to go out for maybe going on a boat here, because you got the third card of Sagittarius, which is the crew card. And with this card, this is a card of in sync, esprit de corps, working together as a unit, team, leadership, co-create, pooling assets, camaraderie, gung-ho, forming alliances, partnership, and team effort. And the energy that's coming through here, Libra, is the partnership. And I feel like that's appropriate with your sign, because that's one of the aspects of you of a Libra, you know, and when you deal with Libra or with like 7th house stuff, because you're associated with the 7th house as well. But it's about those partnerships, whether it be through love, through friends, through business, you know, those one-on-one connections. And I feel that with this energy, it's just like evaluating how we are maybe connecting with others, you know, have we been forming... I'm almost kind of getting for some, it's just like, are we forming more kind of superficial bonds here, or are we forming more kind of like, do we feel that we have like a reliable team, almost is what it's kind of feeling like, and not in, interesting. Yeah, because because I almost feel like for some that maybe, because the thing I feel like with Libra energy is that you grow through relationships. Not that you need to be in them, but I feel like it of all kinds. You know, that's you grow through them, and then you help others grow through that partnership as well. And I feel that it's if we're not forming those connections, or maybe feeling that, and it's not to say that we're like besties with everybody, but I feel like it's just making sure that we're on like this good rapport with people, because you never know who you're talking with, Libra. And this could even be with just like even deal with just like, you know, just people you just happen to meet, maybe strangers for the first time, you know. You might it, I'm almost getting like this energy of, and not that you don't always put your best foot forward there, Libra, but just like when you're going to meet someone, just like I feel like it's, and maybe even especially here over this next week or so, you know, just paying attention to how you maybe come across to others, or how maybe others even may come across to you, and like the bonds that you're forming, because Mars is getting ready to move into your sign here soon, and that has to deal with like forming alliances and strengthening existing ones as well, Libra. But let me get some tarot on this and get some more details. All right, Libra, let's see what's going on here. Interesting. Okay. So you have the Four of Wands, the Hierophant, and the Queen of Wands up right here, Libra. And then you have the Three of Pentacles in reverse. And I'm almost kind of getting with this energy, Libra. For some. Because you are a very, you have a way with words, Libra. You know, you're very, Alright, what I'm trying to get at with this, Libra. With the Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands, she's a very social figure. She's very attractive. You know, you're being Venus ruled. You know, you're a sign of beauty, aesthetics. And I feel like you have a charming way about you, Libra. It's just natural. And just thinking with the Four of Wands and the Hierophant. This can deal with some kind of deep relationship stuff. This could be marriage, but I feel like that we want to be mindful of just like how we're forming relationships, maybe for partnerships, maybe for some. You know, it's like not to say that we're necessarily leading people on there, Libra, but I almost feel like that for some, and again, and this may not be you, Libra, and maybe this could be vice versa. Maybe we've been in situations, so apply to your situation. But it feels like that, you know, we're starting things out of fun with the Queen of Wands here. You know, we might be feeling, especially, you know, your Venus is in, your ruler's in Leo right now, and she'll be there for a little while. You know, she's retrograde, but it's like maybe for some, it's like we're starting up these things, you know, maybe we're making these promises or, you know, kind of talking about futures. And I'm more so getting kind of in a romantic aspect. And we're talking these futures and things, but as soon as stuff starts to get a little bit hard, you know, then the work starts to, you know, the honeymoon phase is done. Then we're just sort of like, we're done. You know, it's like we're kind of moving on to the next thing. You know, Queen of Wands, she follows her passions and things. And I just, let me get a little bit more on her, Libra, before I get into this. And this might be something too, Libra. Maybe we've been forming, you know, we've been on the flip side. Maybe we've noticed that people have been starting up with something, but then when you're ready to take it to that next level, they seem to kind of get out of things. And I'm not sure if it's because maybe we're kind of moving things a little fast with the Queen of Wands. You know, maybe it's just like, but let me get a little bit more on her, see what she's up to here. Because the thing too, Libra, and I feel like one aspect that's not really talked about with your sign is that, you know, when you're associated with the 7th house and things, you know, Libra energy, that deals with like hidden enemies as well, you know, and it's not just like the harmonious ones. And thank you. You know, I just want to feel like we want to be mindful about who we may be getting involved with. Interesting, Libra. So you have the... So the Queen of Wands is clarified by the Two of Cups and the Five of Wands in reverse. And then we have the Page of Pentacles and the Death card here. And even just thinking about that, Libra, the Hierophant is Taurus, the Death card is Scorpio, and they're opposite signs. And when you think about oppositions, you know, that's situations, whether situations or people that force us to make decisions and things. But I almost feel like that there's this... that we might be kind of creating some polarities here or some dissonance maybe in some of our relationships, you know, because with the Five of Wands and the Two of Cups, it's very, very inharmonious energy. So, you know, I'm almost kind of getting with the Death card too. It's just like, maybe for some, it's just like there's this, I don't know if there's this, like, we feel like this need to be in a relationship all the time, or this, so, you know, we have this fear of maybe being lonely, possibly. I'm not quite sure how this may be translating, but just being mindful of, you know, the connections that we're making, because who knows, you might start like this fling and it might think we may never see this person again, and then you happen to go for an opportunity or something, and then we get in a awkward situation. So, you know, maybe that person might end up being like a boss or someone influential, or someone where you meet to make a connection. So, and I'm also kind of getting on the flip side, Libra, because I'm not going to put this just all on you. You know, I do feel like that for some others. I do feel that maybe for some, it's just like we've been maybe kind of putting ourselves out there as a way to try to find some type of relationship, but it feels that things may not have been lining up. We just can't seem to quite find that person that seems to sync up with us. And the tricky thing with Venus retrograde is that it's not that you can't find love, but it's just like it takes a little slower. This is an energy to really kind of get to know each other and to build that more kind of deeper bond there. Because even thinking with Scorpio energy, Scorpio's not about superficial anything. You know, they're more about, they need something up with depth, you know? And I feel like this is something with the Page of Pentacles. Again, it's just like kind of taking our time and really kind of making sure this relationship is grounded and paying attention to people's intentions with you. You know, if they're trying to move things along here, just trying to, get in the bedroom there, Libra. We just want to be mindful of that. And not to say that people are just going to, like, everyone you meet is going to take advantage of you, but just really kind of using a little more, maybe a little extra discernment before we just kind of just put our hearts out there, something along those lines, Libra. I hope that makes sense. All right, Libra. Yes, it's a little something to think about. Let's get another oracle on the mix. You know what, Libra? One other thing before I get to your oracle card, something that just kind of popped in my head. Just even though we were talking about opposites, I almost feel like for some that I feel like it's being open to people who have maybe opposites views of you. Maybe there's something here that, and again, this could be with partnerships, this could be with love, but I just think there's a need to keep kind of open to that, because even though we have like the Two of Cups and the Three of Pentacles in reverse here, we do have the Four of Wands and the Hierophant, and I feel that is one of those things where energies might be inharmonious at first, but it's like once we really kind of get to know each other, opposites can attract, and we can learn a lot from our, I'm always talking about when we're with opposite signs, we can learn a lot from our opposites. And so who knows where that connection may lead to you as well, Libra. But let's get to your next card here. Interesting. All right, so you got the sixth card of Pisces here, which is the childhood card. And with this card, this is a card of innocence, playful, growing, friendship, lightness of being, foundation, need of others, revisit the past, loving life, no worries, inexperience, growth, and new beginnings. And the energy that's coming through here, Libra, is the need of others. And I feel like for some, just kind of piggybacking off that partnership there or something, if because that need of others is almost kind of giving me this sort of like codependent type of vibes there. And again, it doesn't have to be just on you, Libra. Maybe we notice that others tend to we tend to attract people who need a lot more for us than we are capable of giving, And I feel like if that's something that's resonating with you, we just want to, we might need to put up some boundaries if that's the case here, where it's nice to have someone who is there for you. I feel like there's a need to where we do things together and then where we do things apart as well, And I'm even kind of getting here, Libra, just for some, it's like maybe we might be in a relation or might be in a situation where someone is trying to make it so that they feel like that you, and this gives me kind of manipulative type of energy where it's like they may feel that they like try to make it seem that like they need you or that you need them or something along those lines. I feel like we just want to kind of pay attention to that. Like, that's just one thing to think about there, Libra. But I'm also kind of getting for some others that maybe for some that we've been maybe in this place, because the Queen of Wands even kind of is giving me this sort of like very kind of strong, this is Aries energy. And she, you know, Aries energy is about where you are about partnerships. Aries is more so about self. And she's giving me this sort of independent vibes, and where, yes, again, we do have things where we do need to be independent and be able to operate by ourselves. But I do feel like we want to be careful about just like blocking others out, you know, and saying that we don't need anyone or things along those lines, because again, we're not meant to. I feel like yours is a sign, and again, it's not that you necessarily need others, but we can learn a lot from others. They bring, being socializing and you know, being in partnerships with others, it brings about this, it brings again about just like this different perspectives and help us kind of operate differently in life here. But let me get a little bit more tarot on that, Libra. Thank you. Let's see what's going on here, Libra. I was just thinking about that. So you have the interesting, Libra. So you have the Three of Cups, the Six of Pentacles, and then the Wheel of Fortune in reverse here. And let's talk about the Three of Cups, because I was just thinking about like for some reason, for some, I almost feel like that there is this energy of, you can take it as it resonates. It feels like that for some, it's just like that we may be kind of, it's like we're doing a lot, Libra, and it might be not just be you, it might be maybe the person that we're with. If this is, and I'm not saying that this is something that they're doing, but if we've had more so like if we've been sensing something that maybe someone has been, you know, maybe just kind of out and about, you know, having a need for others. You know, I'm getting like a third party type of situation or here, you know, considering Three of Pentacles, Three of Cups here. But you know, we want to pay attention to, I feel like that's just one thing. If we find ourselves in like a cycle here where maybe if we've been not necessarily just like cheated on and a repeated thing, or just like, I'm not sure, Libra. I might need to get a little bit more on the Three of Cups, but it feels like for some, it's like maybe we've been in this cycle of maybe we give our hearts and things, or you know, where we get to this commitment, and then we tend to end up in like a situation where our hearts get broken or something along those lines, or something along those lines there, Libra. But I also kind of feel like if that's the case, if we've noticed a trend here as of late, I feel like there may need for a moment to just kind of pause, because maybe it's just like we may be, because even though these relationships may come up, let's say if we've been in like you know, been in like a, just troubles kind of like finding commitment, you know, we've been looking for something serious, but you know, no one seems to want to be like locked down. It may be that again, we might just be giving too much of ourselves, and there's not that reciprocity there, something along those lines. But let me get a little bit more on that. Thank you. Interesting, Libra. All right, so the Three of Cups is clarified by the Chariot and the Knight of Wands in reverse. And I feel that there's a need maybe for some, especially if we just notice that there's been like a trend of not, the relationships haven't been successful. I feel like there's a need to slow down and then with the death card kind of change our approach. Maybe we need to kind of focus. Because if that keeps happening, I feel like the universe is kind of let you know that maybe it's a time to more so kind of focus on your growth right now and focus on ways that you need to just focus more on your independence and be, and it's not to say again that love isn't coming, Libra, but I feel that it's like when we give to ourselves, and because maybe for something this need to, if especially if there's been like this like constant need to be in a relationship, there may be something there that needs some healing. Maybe we felt this sense of abandon when we were younger or something along those lines there. That's just yeah, something along those lines, Libra. Very, very interesting energy that's kind of coming through here. But yeah, just paying attention to the trends there, Libra. Because I'm almost, and I'm even just kind of getting for some too, it's just like with the Knight of Wands and the Chariot, it's just like as soon as things stop becoming fun, the motion stops. It's just like once things we start talking more seriously, Hierophant, Knight or Four of Wands there. But all right, Libra. Yeah, just a little something to think about. But let's get a little more tea, and then let's get your last card. Thank you. Ha, and there's your opposite sign. So you got the eighth card of Aries, which is the Shooting Star. And with this card, this is a card of quick action, wish granted, rare, falling, moment in time, luck, dynamic, incandescent, dazzled, sudden, short lived, passionate, passing through, enterprising, and brilliant. And the energy that's coming through here, Libra, is the passing through. And I almost kind of feel with this energy, Libra, that it feels like that maybe for some it's just like, it feels like that the people, maybe for some it's like the energies have been like people have maybe been just sort of passing through. It's just like maybe we've been having trouble, and this doesn't just have to be with love. Maybe this is like with friends, maybe it's just like, I'm not sure. It's just like it seems that we can't seem to form any sort of like real kind of tight knit bonds, or maybe we feel that we're not. I don't know. Like I'm almost even kind of getting this energy of just kind of feeling like a little lonely there, Libra. And it's just like maybe we've been kind of like wishing to that something would change, or that it's just like maybe kind of like almost even like kind of looking up to the heavens and just sort of like asking like what can I do to get out of this cycle of this low, or to stop this like revolving door, or even something along those lines there, Libra. It's very fascinating, and I feel like too, Libra, something to think about. And just on the flip side, maybe we've been just kind of passing through people's lives. Maybe we've been. This could be even like a commitment issue type of thing, where it's just like, the second that things get serious, we just kind of keep it moving. With the Chariot, I just feel like there's a need now. I need to kind of slow down and just like be okay, almost like being allowing yourself to, again, now we're not bearing our hearts on our sleeves, but I just feel like being more vulnerable, or forming more relationships of substance. And let me get a little bit more on that, Lee. Let's get some tarot on the mix, because those that affects people over time there, Libra. Whether we, know it or not, the relationships, no matter how long or how short, they do have an impact on us. And so I just feel we want to be really mindful of that. It's big, especially with you being a sign of relationships and partnerships and friends and things. You know, it's kind of weird to throw, you know, to come in to bring balance just to throw it off again. You know, it's, And even on the flip side, Libra, you know, it's tough. But let me get to the rest of your tarot here. Thank you. Because I'm even just thinking too, you know, with Venus in Libra, or excuse me, with Venus in Leo. Leo is, it's not that Leo can't, can't commit, but Leo is about that kind of fun, that passionate, that sort of like, joyful kind of energy. But, let's see what your cards are. Interesting, Libra, Mark. All right, Libra, so you have the Nine of Swords, the Six of Cups, and then the Seven of Swords in reverse here. And let's switch back over. Because I almost feel like with the Six of Cups here, there's a need to just reflect on, however this may be translating, just reflect on how relationships have been forming, or, how they've been affecting us. Because it seems that for some, it's not necessarily that we're for some, it's not that we're necessarily lying to people or things along those lines, but it's just like that. I feel like it's like we kind of, maybe for some, it's like just think with the passing through, it's like, maybe for some, if this is something you've been doing, it's like maybe we paint this picture and then just kind of leave again when things kind of get weird, or maybe just sort of end things maybe kind of abruptly. I feel with the Seven of Swords, and this may have been happening to you, Libra, but it's just I'm getting, the Seven of Swords is giving me almost like this sort of like breadcrumbing type of energy here. And it seems that, it's just like if we've been being breadcrumbed, it's just like we're wondering when this, like, how do we end this nightmare? How do we get over this thing? And I feel like with that, it's just a need to just kind of sit down and maybe just kind of slow down a bit, and not, because you got a lot of like, motion cards that are in reverse here, with the Knight of Wands, the Chariot, even like the Two of Cups being in reverse. It's just like there's a need to just like maybe reflect and again just kind of be with ourselves for a little while and just sort of like focus on self-love and things along those lines. But I'm also kind of getting to with some others, this is something that we've been doing, just kind of been just sort of like, just been kind of just passing through people's lives, that there's something there, I feel, again, because the Six of Cups can be, about the dealing with the past, and maybe this is something where we felt abandoned maybe as a child or maybe at some point in time, and now we're in this place of, and I don't feel like it's coming necessarily from a malicious place, but it's more so that we'd rather be the ones that are leaving instead of being the ones that are being left, because it hurts, and that sucks, but it also sucks for the other person, Libra, if you're doing that to people. So that's, and you're in a judgment-free zone, Libra. You know that. But it is something where we can't just, you can, but we just want to be mindful of saying, well, it's just like, this is just who I am. I got some, we were in front of each other. I'd have some thoughts about that, Libra. But it's just like, why does that have to be who we are? Why let the past define you like that? I feel like the past, even just thinking, because the Chariot is Cancer energy, and Cancer is about that experiential wisdom. It's just like what that, we're kind of rooted in the past. My sun sign's in Cancer, and it feels that, it's not meant to just be, there's a lesson that's meant to be into that, and I feel there's some healing that can come from that if we allow ourselves to just to be vulnerable. But I think I'm gonna leave that there, Libra. So just something to think about. But If any of that resonated with you, give it a thumbs up. And share this, Libra, because this is tough. If you notice someone who's either been just kind of stuck in a cycle, maybe they've been kind of like lied to or cheated on, or on the flip side, just been kind of going around there, Libra. Just to share this. And if you haven't already, subscribe, hit that bell button, get notified when I release videos each week. And then look at you, Libra, getting the hottest ticket to come over to my other channel. Not that you need it. But if you have any Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, come on over to the Cherry Den, friends. I do videos Monday through Friday there. We discuss lunar shenanigans. It's a good old time. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get you some prize cards here so I can get you out of here, Libra. Here's Mars. You got Mars in reverse. Mars in reverse. The Tower in reverse here. And I feel like with this energy, Libra, that you can, whatever this pattern may be, whatever side that you're on, you can change this thing, because Mars rules over Scorpio, this along with Pluto. But, and even just thinking about that too, you got Jupiter here, and Jupiter's in Taurus right now. And, I feel like we can change how we've been operating up until now and how this cycle has been going. But we have to, there's going to be work that's needed to be put into that. It's, because otherwise it's just going to, the cycle's just going to keep repeating and repeating ourselves. And I feel like, this is, with Mars getting ready again to enter your sign, you can't adjust this stuff. There's a prime energy to do that. But eventually, tower moments are going to start happening. And it's going to, things get a little weird with that, But let's get your oracle card here so I can get you out of here. Interesting, Libra. Lunar shenanigans. You got the new moon in reverse. And I feel like we just want to be thoughtful and be mindful before we start up new things. Whether we're just starting up new relationships, Libra, again, on either side. Have we had a chance to, have we really reflected on what happened in this previous stuff? Why these trends keep happening, Because, the new moon is about planting new seeds and again, changing, different habits and things along those lines. So, just something to think about there, Libra. But I think I'm going to leave that there. So, you stay safe out there with all these people. And because Libra, it's not even just about an emotional thing, too. It's a health thing as well, and it's not medical advice, but you know what I mean, Libra. Just be mindful and be safe, okay? And you raise your vibration to the roof. Because this is a lot, when we're dealing with people and, everyone's so different and bringing it's a lot. So, sometimes when we're forming relationships and things always, situations change, people change, but we grow. And I will catch you on the next one. Later.